Hello besties, welcome back to my channel. My name is Luna and welcome to Luna's bookshelf. Hi guys, first of all, I'm so sorry for being so inactive. The last time I posted a video, I said I'm back and then I disappeared again for like 3 weeks. So I'm very sorry for that. I've been just really busy, also a little bit of a reading slump, so that's also the reason why I'm not really posting any videos, but I'm really going to try to be back. So this week you will be seeing this video, obviously when you're watching this, and then next week, currently I'm in the middle of filming a week vlog, so that will be probably posting next week. So yeah, stay tuned for that. But in today's video, I'm going to talk about the mid-year reading tag. It is June, so what that means we're already halfway through the year, which is crazy. I mean, these 6 months flew past so fast. It's crazy. So yeah, I got some questions. I got them from another YouTuber. I just assembled some of these questions. And I would say you can also do them. I will put them in the caption, the subscription box, so you can also answer them. So yeah, I would say let's get started because we've got quite a few books to go through. So first up, we're going to start with a little bit of reading statistics. So my reading goal for 2026 is reading 80 books. We're not doing really good. We're not even halfway through, as we should be by now. I only read 18 books so far, which is really sad, but as I just said, I'm in a reading slump, and it's not the first time I'm in a little bit of a reading slump this year, so that's definitely the reason for that. We'll see. I really hope that in the summer vacation I have got some time to read, and maybe I can do a readathon so I can catch up on that. So yeah. Then for the genres I so far I read 9 romances, I read 6 fantasies, 2 other genres, and 1 nonfiction book. So again, and as usual, a lot of romances because I'm still in romance girly. And then I'm going to see, so I've got like my physical TBR that I started in on my Notion. I think it's maybe fun to see how we're doing with that. So of those books, I started with 40 books and I've read 4 of them. Then I also keep in track on all the books I buy. I'm not going to say the price because I do, but we're not going to do that. That's none of your business. But I bought and also got some things free because also gift cards, etc. This also counted, but obviously the price is not. But that doesn't matter. So I bought 17 books and I've read 7 of them, and I'm currently reading 1 of them. So we're going to the 8. And then for 26 books I want to read in 2026. So out of them, I only read 5 of them. So that's not that good, but you know, it's fine, guys. It's fine. The questions. So the first question is the best book you've read in 2026. And this also kind of equals my 5-star books. And let me tell you that there aren't a lot of 5 stars so far. And I'm not counting like a reread because I did reread People Meet on Vacation in January, but I'm not counting that because I already read the book. So the first book that was a 5-star and is one of my faves is In Your Dreams by Sarah Adams. So this is the last book. You already heard me talk about this book, I think, quite a lot of times, but I'm going to do a quick recap. So this book is a final book in the When in Rome series. We follow Madison, and she is a chef, and she moves to New York, and now she's moving back to Rome. I really loved it. I love the small town vibes. I love the family vibes in these books, and I think this book really wraps up the story of this series, and I just really enjoyed that. So that's why it's one of my faves. Then this next book is a book I saw a lot of people read, and a lot of people already read it, and I kind of felt behind because I was like, oh my god, I really need to read that book, you know? And then I bought the whole series at once, and then I read the first book, and yeah, that was crazy. That was really crazy, and that is The Poppy War by Eric Kwan. I've been really thinking about what to rate this. I think in the beginning I rated it 4.75, but thinking about it back, it's definitely a 5-star book. It's so good, and I still haven't read the next books, and I think a part of that reason is because I'm scared to continue this series, and I think that's more of like it's such an intense and yeah, just such an intense series. I think that's the reason why I'm kind of hesitant to pick the next book up, but I really love this one. If you haven't read The Poppy War, I highly recommend reading it. It's so, so good. And then this book is a newer release. I think it's a release from this year. I'm not sure. I'm going to see if I can see it in the book. No, it was from 2025, it says here. But I saw Sarah Caroli for the first time who read this book. And then I saw other creators also reading it on YouTube, but also on Instagram. And I was really intrigued by the synopsis and how it's written. And then I picked it up and I got this beautiful edition. And that is The Correspondent by Virginia Evans. I really like this book. I cried in the train. I really tried to hold back my tears, but it just had to go. So we follow Sybil, and what the special thing about this book is, the whole time you're just reading the letters that Sybil's written to people, but also the letters she received, but also the letters she received from people. And I think that was so magical and fun and interesting to see and to read about. Yeah, I get why a lot of people really like this book, and same. Then the next question is the best sequel you've read, and I only read one sequel, and that was In Your Dreams. So far, I haven't read any sequels yet, so then the new releases you haven't read yet, but want to. So on my spring TBR, I put A Perfect Storm from Carly Fortune. That was released in May, but I just haven't picked that up. So I really want to read that book. Maybe more leading towards the summer when my exams are over, but that's a book that's really high on my list that's already released that I want to read. And then the next question to that is the most anticipated releases for the second half of the year. And I put so far 2 books. These were the books that really immediately popped to my mind when I saw this question. And the first is The Sunday Garden by Ashley Boston. That book is going to be released this month. I love all Ashley Boston's book. There's just such a magical and interesting story that she writes. It's so fun and so different from all of the other books I normally read, and I think that's what makes it so fun to read. So I'm really excited what she did with her newest book, and I can't wait to pick that up. And then the other book that I also am looking very much forward to, and that is Embrace by Paul Karba. I read there 3 other books in the series, and that's Collide, Spiral, and Revolve, and I love those 3 books, and this is the final book, I think, and I'm just so excited. I can't wait to read it. It's also such a cute cover again. So, and that's coming in August. The next question was biggest surprise, and I saw this question like biggest surprise. You can interpret this question in 2 different ways: biggest surprise because you liked it, or biggest surprise because you didn't like it. And I did like and didn't like it, and that was Light Lark by Alex Esther. It's not that I didn't like it at all, but I was just not that invested in the story, and I'm not going to continue the series. It just didn't feel, I don't know, I was just not invested at all. I also can't remember a thing about a book, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, just didn't vibe with it. And yeah, I don't know why. I thought I would maybe like because it's a YA and fantasy, and sometimes I'm really in the mood for a fantasy, and at that moment I was, but it just didn't, I was not vibing with it. And that's okay. For the next question is a very fun question because I get to spotlight authors that maybe are not talked about enough in my opinion, and that is the favorite author, debut author, or new author to you. And I've got 2 of them. So the first one is a Belgian author, and I just read a book by her, and that is Crowned in Feathers by Adriana M. Giovanni. She's a Belgian author, and she wrote this book, and I really love the book. It's a YA fantasy with Swan Lake, ballerina vibes, not competition, but like, yeah. I just really loved it, and it's so fun to read more. I really want to read more Belgian authors, even if it's Dutch or English. I don't really care, but she's so sweet. I have also texted her, go read this book, guys. It's so fun. So yeah, and it's also such a stunning book. And then the other author I discovered and I've read my first book by her is this other Mari McFarlane. I don't know how. I'm not going to pronounce it. I'm just going to show you guys. Now you know which author. I don't want to pronounce any names wrong. I really liked this book and I read it because of Haley Pham. And I definitely want to read more book and more books. I definitely want to read more books by her. So I think I'm going to look into that for the summertime maybe. So yeah, really fun. This book, I kind of spoiled it already. And that is a book that made you cry. And that was The Correspondent. The thing was, I knew what was coming. I knew, and I was in a train, just reading, minding my own business, and then I just felt like a tear. I was like, oh no, we can't do this in public. We can't go crying. And yeah, I just couldn't stop it. So there were tears. There was also some laughter. It was a mix of both, but the tears were definitely there. I also cried a little bit with the Poppy War, but not as much as I thought I would cry. I thought I would cry a lot more with that book because I saw a lot of people saying it's really emotional, but there was only one part, and if you read the book, you know probably which part I'm talking about. That's the only part where I've cried. So yeah. Now to go into the happy vibes, a book that's made you happy. So obviously there are some multiple books that made me happy, but I want to talk also about other books that I've read. And the book I chose for this one was Fire and Ice. I read this book as an arc and I just was really happy to read another hockey kind of romance, and I had such a good time reading this book. I was just laughing, I was just smiling. Yeah, a really good time. So if you're looking for a hockey romance, I mean, everyone is now watching Off Campus, and if you want something else and maybe another series, go read that. Go read that. I highly recommend. It was so fun. There's also a first book. I haven't read that one yet, but I will definitely go pick that up. But definitely read the next book in it. But I would also recommend to read the first book. Maybe a little bit more logical to do, you know? The next question is the most beautiful book you've bought this year or received. And the thing is, there are 3 books on this list. But the third book, I'm not sure if I bought it this year or if I bought it in December of 2025. But I'm going to include it. But that's for after these 2 books. So the first 2 books that I think are so beautiful is obviously The Correspondent. I think it's such a cute cover. I mean, it's not that spectacular, but I don't know. I just really love the vibe with it being like a postal stamp and it being about letters. You know, it just really fits the vibe, and I think that's why I appreciate it and think it's so cute. And then the next book is Crowned and Feathers. This is such a cute edition with like the sprayed edges, but also the inside. I mean, look at that. That's so cool. I really love it. I think she did such a good job, and also the inside, so pretty. And then this book is a book that I think I bought it in January after one of my exams. No, I didn't buy it. I bought it in December. I'm going to show it anyways. I mean, you've seen it before, but I'm going to show it to you guys because it deserves it. And it's Nightingale, of course. I think this is one of the most beautiful books that I own. So yeah. But I think I did buy it in December, right before my exams, after this course ended. The next question. So, a book I need to read by the end of the year. There are quite a lot of books I really need to read by the end of the year, but more specifically, I'm going to grab it real quick for you guys because I forgot to do that. And that is finish the Poppy War series. I need to finish a series before the end of the year because I can't go into 2027 while I'm still reading it, okay? Now, what book do I want to reread this year? So I already reread People Meet on Vacation because of the movie. There's also another book by Emily Henry I really need to. I don't need to, but I really want to reread it. And it's Penny Sorry. When this first came out, I ate this book up. I read it so fast, but I just need to read it another time because I just love it. I love Daphne and Miles. So I really want to read it just to feel the vibes again. Maybe I should do this to maybe get out of my reading slump. That's maybe not a bad idea. And then there's another book I really want to reread, and that is A Love Theoretically by Ellie Isherwood. I mean, it does make sense that both of the books I want to reread are both favorite authors of mine. So yeah. So if you haven't read these books, take this as your sign. Read these books. They're so good that I want to read them for a second time. That means something, guys. I don't read books. I don't reread books just to reread them. I reread books because I really love them. You know, I only reread books I love, and I give like almost 6 stars. Definitely the 5 stars I would love to reread, but 6 stars are wow. Now we've come to the final question, and that are my 5 star predictions. And I've got a stack over here, guys. There's some books that I think will be so good, and I hope they will be good, and I hope they will be 5 stars because, I mean, I've got 3 5 stars out of the 18 books I read. It's not that bad, but it has been better, you know. So yeah. So the first book that I do think will be a 5 star, and it's purely because the first book in the series was a 5 star, and maybe I can add that one too. Maybe I think I want to reread the first book first before I read this one because it's been a while. But the book being said, I think will be 5 stars is A Rebel Witch by Christine Ciccarelli. So this is the second book, and this comes after Heartless Hunter. I loved Heartless Hunter. I binged read that book like crazy. So I do think I will really love this one as well. And I think I will give it 5 stars. I'm so excited to read this book and see what else is going to happen. So yeah, I can't wait. Then this book. This book is a book that's been on my TBR for quite a while. And I've been putting it off for also quite a while because I'm just so scared for it. For multiple reasons. I'm scared because I think I will be destroyed emotionally after reading this book. I think it will be so beautiful, but I think also the reason I don't want to read it and I've been putting it off is because it maybe cause a reading slump because it's just so good. And that is The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. Everyone I follow and every review I've seen about this book really loved it. And that's also why I'm kind of scared, because what if I don't like it? What if it's not a 5 star for me? What if it's even a 1 star? But I do think it's a 5 star for me. When I read the synopsis, if I see at the writing style, when I read Firefly Lane by Kristen Hanna, I love her writing style. So I do think I will really love it, but it's also more out of my comfort zone. It's also making me a little bit nervous. But I just need to read this book. I just need to start it and get over myself. So guys, convince me in the comments if you've read this book for me to read this book, because I need to read it before the end of the year. So the next books are books that I got with my gift card, and I obviously bought them because I think I would really love those. I mean, I also bought Heartless Center with that, but obviously I buy books because I think I will love them. So yeah, but the first book is No Matter What. Not the first book, but the third book. So that is No Matter What by Cara Stone. I read Promise Me Sunshine Meyer, and I did really like it. I gave it like 4.5 stars. But I think I would like this book more. So I'm excited, but also like I do think it is a possible 5 star, maybe close to 5 star. Not exactly 5, but I think it could be potentially lead up to a 5 star. You know what I mean? So I'm really excited. It is a romance, and we follow Ross and Vin. So yeah, I'm just going to say what says it here. A traumatic accident tests the limits of love and resilience as a couple fights to rebuild what was broken and rediscover themselves in this tender, slow burn romance by the other. So yeah, that's right. Also, such a cute cover. This author, I've read, I think, 3 books by her, and no. Yes, I've read 3 books by her, and 2 of them I really loved. And I've given The one I give 5 star, and the other one I give close to 5 star. And that's also why I think this would also be a possible 5 star, and that is Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This author, she does something to my brain, the way she can make me invested in things I don't know a single thing about. She did it especially with Carrie Soto's Back. I was so invested in that story and in tennis and everything, but also Daisy Jones and the Six. I mean, that book, that also has a special place in my heart. I really love that book. Maybe I also want to reread it. Yeah, we'll see. But I think this book is also very good to be a 5 star, just because I really love Taylor Jenkins Reid, her writing style. So yeah. Then this book is a book I also picked up because I read a book by her last summer, previous summer, and I really loved it. And I was so sad that I didn't have that book physically. So I was like, now I'm going to buy this book physically because I just know I'm going to love it. And that is Same Time Next Summer by Annabelle Monaghan. Her writing style is also so different, and I really love it. And it's a little bit different from other romances in a way, and gives me a bit more Emily Henry mature vibes. Also because it's more like an adult, but I really love it, and I do think it's a potential 5 star because I read Summer Romance by her, and that was, I think, gave it 4.75 stars. So this could be it, guys. This could be it. And then the final book is a book by an author that, yeah, I finished a book series by her last year, and let's say it's still a sensitive topic for me. So I'm also kind of scared for what she's going to do with this book, but we'll see. But anyway, the book I'm talking about is The Conditions of Will by Tessa Hastings. I don't know much about it. I just know it follows Georgia, and she also lives in London, and I think it was kind of connected with Magnolia Park, but I'm not sure, to be honest. But I do believe this could be a 5 star book. But I mean, I also will kind of link it to Magnolia Park's Daisy Hates, and I really love Magnolia Park's and Daisy Hates. But I mean, can any book? Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, enough about that. That was it. That are all the books I want to talk to you guys about. The books I want to read, the books I've read. So yeah, it was really fun to do this again. I hope you guys liked the video. Let me know what your favorite book was of 2026 so far, and what is your, and also let me know what book you really want to read in the next half of the year of 2026. I would say thank you for watching the video, like and subscribe, and see you next time. Bye!